And you want to hear one of the great things about YouTube is it gives you aggressively granular stats. And one of the aggressively granular stats that's come out of the episodes I've uploaded is people only really listen to the first 5 minutes.
Nice. Yeah, I appreciate
so
that.
if we lost you an hour and 10 minutes ago, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, we can put this clip at the front and immediately tell those people, fuck you, okay? So they will hear it, and then they'll turn off anyways. It doesn't matter. They weren't going to listen, so fuck you. Okay. Yeah, I'm rolling now, so we're good to go. Yeah, 1 month-ish late, 23 minutes late to start. Well, I guess 24 now. We're just getting better and better at this. We're doing really well.
97 episodes in, and we are truly pros. I think we're on our way to 10,000 hours, and we're going to be absolute legends. Watch out, Joe Rogan. Here we come.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're going to open up a studio in Texas and then start interviewing people with just totally off-the-wall ideas
For like
about
5 hours.
Everything. Yeah, for 5 hours, just smoking cigars and be like, what is that? Jamie, pull that up.
Bro, pull that up.
Yo,
Jamie, can you get that up? Oh my God, look, it's a sausage. It's definitely a sausage.
Yeah.
Did you know it was going to be a sausage?
I watched a highlight reel of the Joe Rogan Experience once of just like the weird stuff that they end up talking about, and some of the guests coming on with these like really crackpot weird ideas. And like, you know, being, I guess, good on them for getting all these differing opinions, but some of the stuff's like really crazy, like
Full crackpot.
real crackpot stuff. And then he's like, oh yeah, okay, Jamie, I think I read an article about that. Pull that up.
Did you see that guy accidentally hit that moose with his car?
No.
Holy shit, Jamie, pull that video.
It's like the Babylon Bee or something like that, and you're like, I don't know about that.
I don't think that's a credible source, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I'm trying to try and detach from any of that kind of that male-centric media. Says a guy hosting a male-centric podcast called The Wonder Boys.
No, thank you. It is a podcast for boys.
For
Shit,
boys,
I see the problem.
Just boys, but like little boys. Oh, and not that way though. We're not. No, it's not. It's not a little boys thing. I swear.
No, it's a big boys thing. Just
It's a
like
big
us, we're big boys.
thing. We're big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're really big boys. Yeah. Okay. Well, what can we talk about? Let's talk about Star Wars.
What can we talk about? I've got.
You got topics.
Andor.
Well, it's like
Oh,
we
no,
always
I
talk
do
about
have
Star Wars.
topics.
Bro, okay.
No, we can talk about Andor. I know. I haven't watched it yet.
Haven't seen Andor, and this is not just for Lucas, but this is for anyone who listens to this. If you haven't seen Andor and you're like, I don't like Star Wars, Disney Star Wars sucks, or just like in general, sci-fi is not my thing, well, guess what? This is a genre-defying piece of media, and you have to watch it. And I'm not the only one who's saying that. It is just well-written, well-constructed, well-acted, well-paced, well-designed storytelling. That's it. I'll leave it there. I'm done. We don't have to talk about it anymore. But holy shit, I'll tell anyone who'll listen, Andor is a fucking great show. You gotta watch it.
Total recording time 5 minutes and 30 seconds,
Nice.
and that's how long it took Tim to bring up Andor.
Bring up
glad
Andor.
we made it this far.
I'm not even like a diehard Star Wars fan that much anymore. I love it still, like always have since I was a kid. But then lately, more of an Andor stan. I'm going full Andor now. I even got Sarah to buy me the Blu-ray for the first season for my birthday. And I was like, Sarah, buy me the Blu-ray because I'm going to cancel this Disney Plus subscription pretty soon, and then I still want access to Andor in some form. So,
Well, I have specific notes from our father, but one of them was to ask you, how's the quality of the videos on Disney Plus, and specifically on the server that you access that I have.
yeah, it's decent.
What's the story behind that?
Yeah, we used the Plex thing for a couple of Disney Plus things. That's pretty good. It's mostly like 1080p, which is pretty decent. But then I'm a bit of a psycho, and I went last year and bought a big 4K TV, like 65-inch, big old thing. And I was like, man, I want to extract every piece of juice out of this apple or whatever. I don't know if that's the saying. But like,
I don't think apples have juices. I would have picked orange.
well, where do they get the apple juice from, bro? What is this conspiracy that you
knew you were gonna say
Where
that.
are they getting the fucking apple juice from, man? What are they not squeezing apples? Where are they getting it from? Apple juice
Where are they getting
aside.
almond milk from then? What are they just there fucking
Yeah, they're milking those
squeezing the
almonds, baby.
almond?
They're milking those fucking almonds. Yeah, that's true. Or oat milk. Like, do they squeeze the oats? How the
They
fuck does
must.
that
They
work?
must. Squeeze it super hard. I don't know. I've squeezed an oat before. Milk did not come out of it.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. You'd have to squeeze it pretty fucking hard. You get Arnold Schwarzenegger in there squeezing oats. Just like,
What is that? What is that YouTube channel? The hydraulic press. Will it
oh, I love
press?
that channel.
Just
Yeah,
them with
so
the
fucking
hydraulic
good.
press.
Just crushing anything and everything.
Literally everything.
Just totally like the most wasteful thing in the history of the world. But then, like, it's so entertaining.
Great entertainment. Yeah, exactly. So
Well, I have actually switched to more alternative milks because I am lactose intolerant.
good. Ooh, bad
Not
farts.
like diagnosed, but basically, if I have dairy or milk, I get the shits and I start farting a lot. So I'm like, I feel like I know what this
That
is.
escalated so quickly.
Um,
Yeah, fair.
And yeah, so I've had a lot more oat milk in my life now, but it's like twice the price, bro. It's so expensive. Oat or
Well, yeah, I
almond
mean-
or whatever.
You have any idea how many people it takes to squeeze those
To
almonds?
squeeze an
Their
almond?
their labors costs are
fair.
so high.
Yeah, not to mention we're
Yes,
destabilizing third world countries, siphoning all these almonds from wherever they come from.
Yeah, exactly. At least I only do it once. You probably drink your coffee with milk. I only destabilize with coffee. People having coffee and
Oh.
milk? Like,
Yeah.
come on, people. Think of the
Yeah.
environment.
That's true.
Do one or the other.
Yeah, actually, what I personally prefer to exploit less privileged people, so I'm going to continue to do that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But,
yeah, me
it's
too,
my right.
actually.
I deal with a lot of DEI stuff nowadays, so I'm getting... Okay, it's getting off the rails.
Oh, we are doing a Joe
This is
Rogan
me just
podcast.
getting
Holy
off the-
shit.
Yeah, I know. This is Joe Rogan to a T. Just
What if we stopped hiring people on merit, Like
Yeah.
what if we did if we just hired them for
Based
the
on-
diversity? No, that's the problem. Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, Jamie, pull up the article that says it supports my viewpoint.
Yeah.
Where were we going? Oh, we were talking about oat milk, and then we were talking
Andor.
about Andor. Yeah, absolutely. Andor is like, it's oat milk, it's almond, it's real milk all mixed into one. It's the real milk. It's the milk that everyone's been seeking all these years. They're like, oh, all these other milks, these alternative milks. I don't want the alternative. I want the primary milk. That's Andor, baby. Yeah, anyway.
We have an episode of our podcast, I think it's called titty milk juice or something, and it's referring to can't remember the exact name of the episode, but it's referring to that scene where Luke Skywalker's drinking the weird
Oh, yeah.
milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
where-
Oh.
I think I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, the
Someone's
blue
probably
titty
it's-
milk or whatever.
Tanner's probably going it's fucking titty milk, blue titty
Oh,
milk juice.
yeah, that
yeah.
reminds me, actually. Yeah, Tanner had expressed interest in coming back on, but because we've been trying to struggle to get this thing even going, we will get Tanner back on at some point.
Yeah.
And get him on the podcast.
Well, let him know. I'm going to be in Vancouver from the 23rd of August. Get your shit together.
Oh, yeah,
Let's make
actually,
it
that could be good. We could do it in person. That'll
Yeah.
save us.
If we can bang out a couple, if we can get the two Hamels and Tanner in for a couple
Yeah,
of
that's true. We get some
sessions.
returning guests. Yeah, I even thought with we have a 100 episode coming up after 8 years of doing this. We have our
It was called
100th
the episode was called Titty Milk Planet.
Titty Milk Planet. Sure.
Episode 59. It was a while.
Only
ago.
quality material in this podcast, that's for sure. Only quality.
Do you know what? It's funny. I'm probably gonna send this episode to somebody because I met somebody a couple of weeks ago, and they were like, "Oh, you have a really nice voice. You're very clear. And do you work in radio?" And I was like, "No, but I have a podcast." They're like, "Actually, we've been wanting to do some podcast content." I was like, "Well, let me send you a demo."
Oh, nice.
I think this is the one. I'll
You're
send.
going to hit it big, dude.
I might as well already write my celebrity checks right now.
Got to do it. I mean, podcasts and influencing is all the rage nowadays. So go for it. May as well.
I'll influence the shit out of shit. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's 3 shits right there in that sentence. Look
Oh,
at that.
boy. He's out of control, folks. Watch your back.
Somebody stop me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about that. That was the other one note. I only had 2 notes for this episode after speaking with our father. So the one was ask him about the quality of the videos on Disney Plus and whether he likes the Plex server. I was done. Okay, so turns out you don't like 1080p. You spent a lot of money on your TV. And
Oh, that's how we got onto that tangent that lasted 6 minutes. Yeah. Well, I got the Disney Plus subscription, and they have the different tiers now, and they're like, oh, 1080p with ads, plus blah 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 without ads, and then 4K without ads. And because it was
Yeah.
like the first time I signed up, I got the discounted rate, and I was like, okay, I'll just do this for a month, watch Andor, maybe watch a couple other things that have maybe interested me, and then kind of move on. And then go to cancel it, and they say, oh, we'll give you the next 3 months for half the price. I was like, maybe?
Okay. Why
Sarah
not?
has a lot of stuff on Disney Plus she likes to watch, so that kind of appealed to Sarah. But we will have to probably fall back on that nice Plex, that beautiful Plex, very soon.
Yes, yeah. Don't mention it too many times. This is a public forum, but yes.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
Sweet, sweet, beautiful content.
We'll bleep it out, and everyone will be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" That big beautiful bleep, that big beautiful whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that was topic number one. That's how we got onto Titty Milk Planet. And then the other thing was, I have to ask you about parking downtown when you went to go see Sarah Milliken.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Oof, that was an experience. You've been out of the country for a while now, and you come back, you visit, you talk to mom and dad on the phone or whatever. But
Yeah.
you kind of like, I've noticed that they just kind of handle things differently now than I do. I handle things much differently because I've got a obviously different experience in my young adult life than they do or have had. And so I was like, oh, we'll go downtown. We'll park near the theater for the show. And we'll walk somewhere for dinner, get food, and then walk to the theater. But we ended up parking, because we got there so early, we parked on the street, Richard Street, which is a one-way street going southbound. And they've changed it so that I think after rush hour, so after 6 p.m., you can park on the right side of the road, just on the curb, pay for parking, and go. But we got there just after rush hour ended, so there was no other cars parked in that curb lane, and it looked just like a travel lane that was going just through the center of the city. I said, no, Dad, it's cool. Like, look at the sign. It says, after 6 p.m., you can park here, just pay for parking, pull up on the curb. He's like, there's no one else parked on this side of the road. But we weren't quite communicating that to each other well enough. I thought he didn't understand that it was legal to park there. And I was like, no, Dad, it's legal. It's fine. The signage says it's good. We'll just park up, pay for the parking, and go. And he was trying to communicate to me that it was like, I don't want to be the only guy parked on this side of the road in case some guy's just ripping it through downtown and rear ends the car and obliterates his car. But that was not clear to me at all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my father is going senile. He's not understanding that that the sign is saying it's legal to park. He understood that, but I only found that out later. So we both kept pressing each other. We're pressing each other. Like, oh my gosh, I swear to God, what I'm telling you is the truth. And Dad's like, what I'm telling you is that I don't want to park on the side of the road. But we weren't getting there. We just weren't getting there. So eventually we're like, after 5 minutes of going back and forth, he goes to park on just the opposite side of the road where there's already a bunch of cars parked, where during the day you can park there anyways. And I was just saying, like, well, then you're going to have to, like, do a parallel park. You can, figure that out. But, yeah, the whole thing got us all so worked up. We're walking away from the car. And we go in to get dinner. And, like, luckily the walk was nice and long, so we had time to chill out and go find somewhere to eat and whatever. And then we're going back to the theater, and we had some gifts or leftovers or something. I think it was just leftovers from the dinner. We'd gone to Brecca. That's why we went. We went to a bakery to get some desserts. We didn't finish all the desserts, so we go to the theater saying, can we bring these in? They're sealed. We're not going to eat them. And they're like, no, you can't bring them in. Like, you can throw them in the trash. And I was like, that's garbage. I'm going to put them back in the car. So I go back to the car on my own and then put the stuff in the car. And then I look up, and across the street where we had stood there having this little debate about parking, the entire road's full of parked cars now because they're all going to the theater for Sarah Milliken. So being a passive-aggressive piece of shit, I'm like, I got to take this photo. So I take a photo of it, go back to Dad. I'm like, oh, look at this fucking photo, you old man. Ooh. And then start rubbing it in his face like a 12-year-old. Not my best moment, to be fair.
Okay, I guess that's why Dad asked me to bring it up.
And he took it very well. He handled it very well. He was the more mature adult, which is fair because he is my father. So
yeah,
whatever.
But I mean, he hasn't historically been. He could pop off. He could do it. He could do his office pop.
Less
He could
so, I
definitely-
think, nowadays as he's progressed through life. I think he's become much better
Okay.
at that. Whereas I obviously have not gotten to that point.
You haven't matured to that point yet. That's fair enough.
Matured. I was like, oh,
Fair
well,
enough.
look at this fucking shot. Ugh. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, oh, god damn it, it's not as sweet. It's not as sweet of a victory.
Yeah, fair.
But that's what
Yeah,
happened.
you want
with
to
that.
see him bleed. You know, you want to see
You
him
want to
bleed.
see, you want to see them bleed. Yeah, that's a good motto for life. You want to see them bleed. But yeah, that was kind of the whole saga was just us kind of misunderstanding each other and not really. Yeah, we just were not on the same page whatsoever. It was just
All right.
so confusing for both of us because we're like, you do not understand what I'm saying. And then it ended up,
like, I
it ended up pretty
understand
well. 'Cause
perfectly.
The show was
I
really
understand
fun. Sarah
Okay,
Millican's
good.
really funny. She goes for a long time. She does such a long show that she has an intermission because she's up there for like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes or something like that.
I think that's a very British comedian thing to do because a lot of them here will actually do an hour 45 with an
Yeah.
intermission.
That's
Which is
insane.
crazy.
I had never been to a comedy show that was like even the longest comedy stand-up set I've seen is like an hour and 10 minutes. I think that was like Jim Gaffigan went for like an hour and 10, hour and 15.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty long to be up there and just doing jokes for an hour and 15 minutes. It's like, that's a long time. But she kept coming back. She's like, I got more. I got more.
She's
I
got more.
And that was really good. So I really enjoyed that. And her opening act was also really good. I can't remember her opening
Parents
act.
said she was a bit too crass for them. Lots
Yeah,
of crassness.
she was quite a bit dirtier than I expected, which I think
teddy girl.
I would have been fine with her and Sarah Millican's like risque jokes if I wasn't sitting next to my mother. And I said that I said that to mom because
that
I
is
wasn't
it.
like visibly laughing a lot of the time. I was like internally like that's funny, but also mom's sitting next to me, so I can't laugh too hard at some of these jokes because my mother is next to me. And mom's like, "It's fine. It's not awkward." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not awkward for you, mom. Maybe I don't know, but like you're not sitting next to your mother and listening to these jokes about this woman's vagina and
Exactly.
stuff." And which yeah, I understand women's vaginas exist and they're pretty funny, guys. But when you're sitting next to your mother, there's a moment where you're like, how much can I laugh at this?
It's not funny enough.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Okay, well, actually, yeah, he didn't tell me that story. I'm happy to hear you guys resolved your issues, and it's going to lead to future issues when you potentially become a parent in the future.
Absolutely. And I won't be able to keep my cool and I will, give my children emotional scarring for the rest of time. But that's a me
They
problem.
deserve it. Oh,
That's a me
yeah,
problem.
that's right. Right. Sorry.
No. Sorry. Whoops. I went a different direction there.
My bad.
Whoops.
That's my bad.
Whoops.
Okay, well, then we can get into those are the two topics that we had to cover, obviously. And the only other things I have to cover, how have your last 3 months been?
Pretty good. Bit of all over the place. It was like the weather here is kind of inconsistent. So I'm in flight school trying to fly as much as I can. So in April I was flying a lot, but then May it's kind of like hit or miss with the weather. And then most of June actually was kind of bad weather. Rainy and cloudy and poor visibility. So I didn't do a lot of flying, but I've been working less, which gives me more time for that. That's been nice. A lot of work drama.
Ooh, can you spill the tea?
Yeah, so I was a supervisor up until April, and then something happened at work that made me kind of unhappy with continuing in that position, so I resigned. Kind of no lead up, no announcement, just like, here's my 2 weeks, guys. I don't want to do this job anymore, but I'm happy to stick with the company as a tour guide, which I was doing before that. And they're like, okay. And then the idea was like they were supposed to find someone to replace me. My boss, the operations manager, was supposed to replace me, but it's hard to find somebody who wants to do it, I think, first of all, and then someone who's able to do it. And then the operations manager was let go for I think that reason and others, but most of my colleagues, including myself, were struggling to see why he was let go because we felt like professionally, there's no reason he would have been realistically let go.
Right.
And it kind of shook the morale of the entire company up quite a bit. And everyone's like, it's just been weird vibes, man. It's been weird vibes. And so work was a little stressful for a while because I feel like I was almost becoming everyone's therapist at work, where they're
Right.
texting like, oh, did you hear about what happened? Do you know like what's going on with this? Like, what do you think I should do? And blah blah blah. And I was like, I just resigned like a month before, and I was like, well, I'm not really like in that supervisor position anymore, so I can't really speak to any of these things. But then it was like giving me this anxiety, like I was like responsible in some way for helping these people work through this trouble at work, but then also it was stressing me out, even though I was like a part-timer trying to do something
Yeah.
completely different. Um, really, it was stressing me out for like a couple weeks. But other than that, it's been pretty great. Yeah.
And other than that, yeah, now I am the general manager of the entire company. And,
Yeah.
I've really taken it under my wing to make sure this company survives.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that intense, but yeah, no, I've just kind of like had to quietly sequester myself and just like show up for my shift, then disappear, then show up for my shift, then disappear, so that no one
right, well-
turns me into their personal therapist anymore.
Well, speaking of sequestering, have you seen Conclave?
I've not. We were gonna watch it because of this new pope that came through, and on the watch list because we're like, how does it work? We kind of have an idea. There's white smoke, there's black smoke, whatever, but we don't know much about the political machinations of. Other than that one time I punched the Pope in Assassin's Creed 2. That's about all I know about popes.
I totally forgot about that until you said that. I was like, hey, there's a mission when you go and punch the
It was
Pope.
like a fist fight with the Pope. You have like a battle
Yeah.
at the end of the game, and it's like,
Yeah.
this feels
Because
sacrilegious.
he's a bad Pope. Yeah,
He's like a scheming Templar guy, and he's like manipulating the world order by becoming Pope or something. I don't know.
The motivations are just. You don't just walk in, punch.
Yeah,
the
you're
Pope.
not just like slapping the Pope across the face for shits and giggles. He's a bad dude in the game.
You got punked. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not it.
No. But have you seen it? It's pretty good.
I saw it on the plane ride to Montreal, and so
Mm-hmm.
did Jenna. And she's, she watched it first, and she like looked over at me, and she's like,
Gotta watch.
"You need to watch Conclave." Yeah, you need to watch it. I was like, "All right." So I did, and 2 episodes of Bad Batch, and let me tell you, Conclave was the best part. You thought I was going to say
Nice.
Bad Batch.
I was gonna say. Well, you know what? I found Bad Batch to be that's the Star Wars TV series, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I watched the whole thing and I have nothing to say. Like it's okay.
Oh,
It's all right. But I found like a lot of those recent Star Wars shows, the animated ones and even the live action ones, other than Andor, of course, because Andor can do no wrong.
of course. Yes.
I found they've kind of like lost their footing. They've lost their creativity in some respects, where a lot of it is like, well, this character's still alive, guys, despite, the genocide of the Jedi and whatever. This guy's still
Yeah.
alive, and here's a TV show about them or
Yeah.
whatever. And you're like, or like, yeah, Bad Batch. Like, those characters are interesting, kind of a cool concept. But then, yeah, the series kind of ends, and it tries to half explain the Rise of Skywalker's storyline with the Palpatine coming back, and you're like, ugh, that was just a bad movie, and now
Oh.
they have to try and justify themselves.
Yeah.
So it feels
I
a
did.
lot
Like
of
I said, I only watched 2 episodes. It was kind of like this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
yeah, it is good. Like the animation's good. The story like setting is good because it's like the early days of the Empire and all that. So you're like kind of interested in the world and the world building and the characters and all that. But then, yeah, the overarching plot of it, I was like, man, I don't know, man. It wasn't hitting for me.
Wasn't hitting. All right.
But you said you watched that on the way to Montreal
to Montreal.
for the Grand Prix, obviously.
Well, went for a wedding. There just happened to be a Formula One race the weekend before. So
That's a good way to put it, actually. And make sure you tell the bride and groom that.
I have brought it up several times, even though you and I both know I was there for the Formula One.
Yeah,
So,
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we won't say that out loud, even though I just did. But yeah, let me tell you, 3 days of cars going fast and then turning near me with the sun beating down at 24, 25 degrees. Phenomenal weekend.
Yeah.
Wedding the weekend after, where I sat in a room with 100 other strangers and ate some food and drank some wine. Not as good.
Oh yeah,
Not
I
as
mean,
good.
like I'm
So
sure that was you stood up and said that at one point. You're like, guys, gotta say, does not compare.
honestly, some of you need to put some papaya clothes on, and some of you need to put some red clothes on, and
Yeah,
some of you need to put some, and then start running around. That'll make it more interesting.
yeah.
More interesting.
First dance music. We're gonna replace the song. It's actually gonna be the intro theme song for Formula One.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
we're all gonna be like,
dun, dun.
we're all gonna be
Or
pumping
have you
our
heard
fists.
the? Have you heard the? Dut, 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 Max Verstappen.
Oh yeah, I have.
Dut.
I've seen a
That's
couple
what we should have
memes
played.
where it'd be someone driving quietly along the road, and then all of a sudden you hear dut, 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 in the background, and it's just like some kind of Max Verstappen cartoon just zipping by them and disappearing into the
Max
horizon.
Verstappen. Yeah, it's so good, so good. Yeah, so that was trip to Montreal, which was, as I don't know if we said earlier. You said, well, here it's about 32 degrees right now, or it was 32 degrees today. But in Montreal, in the days we left, the 2 days that we left, it was 34 degrees, but the humidity was like 80%. So
Ooh.
it felt like 45 degrees. You stepped outside, it was literally like going into a Swedish sauna. It was
Yeah,
wild. Yeah,
it's like
it
a
was wild.
blanket. Oh man,
Just a blanket of heat. Yeah.
it was pretty cool. Like cool here in Vancouver, BC, at least until yesterday. So it was really kind of rainy, wet, and cold. There's like thunderstorms all over the place for the last few weeks. And then yesterday, all of a sudden, it's like cleared up, nice warm weather, clear skies, and we're like, finally, like summer. It's supposed to start like 2 or 3 or like a week or two ago, and yeah, it just wasn't. And everyone was getting like a little bit of that seasonal depression, and they're like, oh my,
Does the summer get here
I know,
eventually?
yeah. But now it feels like she's coming back with a vengeance, like you said, 30 some odd degrees, 40%, like 40-degree with humidity, like.
No, no, and you know those same people who are like, I'm a little sad. Like a month from now, they're like, I'm a little upset that everything's on fire.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
so
I
hot. Why is
know.
it so hot? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That'll always happen though. That's even in the winter, like, oh, it's so cold.
yeah.
And then it gets to summer, oh, it's too hot. It's like, bro, come on. Yeah.
You can't make people happy. That's okay. That's okay. Um, what else was I going to say about being hot? Fully blank. Oh my god, I'm turning into such an old goddamn man.
Even
The
earlier,
number of times.
you did something that I was like, oh, look at that. Look at showing his age a little bit. He's getting his memory slipping.
Oh god. Uh, I'm gonna blame it on I have too many things to do, and let's say that. Or what? You know what? I'll just deny it. I'll just deny
Just
it
deny it. It's not happening. I'm in
not
denial, and I will be until my death.
until I'm 105. Yeah, right. No, what I was gonna say. That's right. We were talking about parking when you told the parking story. That's what I was gonna talk about.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't driven in North America in a while. Like it had been over a year and a half until we got to Montreal. There's a couple of moments where I was like, "This is hard." Like I forgot that it's a bit of the Wild West sometimes, especially downtown Montreal driving. Like,
Oh yeah.
I think that's a different beast though. Like, don't. So there are two cities in the world. Yeah, sorry, there are two cities in North America where you're not allowed to turn right on a red light. Like everywhere else in North America, red light you can
Oh, yeah.
safely make a right turn. You can turn right. There are two cities in the world where you cannot do that. The one is New York because of the block grid system, and there's too many one ways. They'd fuck it up too much. So they're like, no rights on red, no rights on red. And the other one is Montreal because they're like, because you guys don't know how the fuck to drive.
No, really.
You don't get to turn right on a red light. So the first time I was driving, Jenna was in the passenger seat, and I was like, just went up to the red light, started turning left, and she's like, no, 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 no. I was like, oh, what? Like, it's clear. I'm good to go. She's like, not in Montreal.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, oh. So yeah, that was a good experience. That's the story I wanted to tell. So
Yeah.
glad I remembered it.
I mean, in other places where it is legal to turn right on a red, like everywhere else in Canada, basically, I found Sarah and I were driving somewhere about a month ago. I'm just trying to remember where we're going. Oh, that's right. We're going to Chilliwack Lake. We were going camping. So we're going out to Chilliwack Lake to go camping, and it's a Friday afternoon. So we're driving kind of the back roads to get out to Chilliwack, and everybody's just I guess just because it's Friday afternoon, they're in like a big fucking hurry to get everywhere and like, oh, it's the end of the work week. Let's just fucking go, 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 go. We had multiple instances where we saw people in front of us get honked at, or one time Sarah got honked at by this guy behind because we were in a right turn lane waiting to turn right onto a pretty major road in Abbotsford. And it just wasn't safe. There's cars still coming, like a big stream of cars, no gaps whatsoever. We can't turn right on the red. It's just like you turn in, you're going to get T-boned, you're going to die. So this guy behind us, we had like kind of been moving around him on our drive for the most of the time. And he was in his work van, so I guess maybe he was frustrated. He wanted to get home or something, but he's honking at us like, go, basically, like go to make the turn, get going. And I think there may have been a car in front of us as well, and they were deciding obviously not to go because it's not safe, but he's honking at everybody like, go, 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 go. And it's like, dude, even though you can turn right on a red, everyone forgets that little stipulation in the law, like that when it's safe to do so. If it's not like safe, you can't just blast out in front of somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to legally give way to that green light traffic. 100%. It's the same with like, you'll get it where you're in a left turn lane and you have those advanced left green arrows.
Yep.
Or filters, we used to call them. Basically to get that traffic turned before the rest of the oncoming traffic has to go. But if you have the opposite direction traffic has that red light and it's legal to turn right on the red, they'll start turning right on the red. And when you honk at them because you're coming from the left green light, because they just haven't yielded to you, and they look at you like, what? Yeah. It's a red light. Like I could turn right on the red. I'm like, bro, but not when you're not giving way to the green light traffic, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, the worst is people who are honking at, especially new drivers who are like still uncomfortable with the concept of turning right on a red light. Or maybe there's a pedestrian or a child or a
literally
cyclist
anything.
Or anything.
Literally anything.
And they're like, oh, you need to fucking go, dude. So part of me, like there's a little part inside of me that's like wishing and hoping that the whole country looks at Montreal and says, maybe that's a good idea.
No. Believe me, the drivers in Montreal are not the people we want to be following into battle.
Oh, really? Even the concept of no right turn on red? Maybe
I honestly, the concept, yes, I would give the concept. However, I don't think Montreal's drivers should be leading the charge in any traffic changes.
Fair. Gotcha. Maybe it's because they're too busy reading the sign twice because it's in English and French. They're like, I don't have time to obey the red lights, okay?
I was trying to decide which language I want to speak in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good fun. Oh, puppy.
Yeah, he's sitting outside right now, and I think Sarah came back from her afternoon walk, so he gets excited and he starts to jump around. So
nice. Jump around. Jump up, and get down.
Yeah.
Jump.
But how was the race, actually, like Montreal, if we're still in Montreal, how was the actual race? Were you supporting anyone in particular, or you just happy to be there?
Mostly just happy to be there. I work with Williams Racing as one of my clients.
I was going to say, are you contractually obligated to say that you support Alex Albon or what?
Yeah, I'm contractually obligated to say that I support the smooth operator, Carlos Sainz.
Right. Okay. Oh, gotcha.
So yes, I had a Williams hat for the weekend, which actually I'll show you in a second. It's in the other room. It's actually pretty sick. I'll wear it without. It's a sick hat. It just says Williams Racing on the front, but it's got a cool design on it. And the actual race.
Oh, hang on, bro.
Hold on.
I'll have to come back to you. Mom's here.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just popping in.
Oh, she's just popping in.
Yeah.
Can I see
Is
your?
this the first time?
Can I see your eyes, Mom? Yeah. Mom had eye surgery. Well, not eyes.
I know she failed to tell anybody. Yeah, she failed to tell anybody.
Yeah, you can come on in.
Yeah, you can. I mean, we're in the middle of something, but it's fine. They can't hear me.
I'm gonna put you on speaker here, Lucas. So then.
Okay, good. Okay. Now then, I'll have to repeat myself.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Mom.
Children.
Hello, Mum.
These are. Oh, can you see me?
Yeah, you look great.
I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
You were always beautiful, Mom. Now you're just more beautiful.
I'm even more beautiful. So, yeah, I was cleaning up and I had these pants of Tim's where his bony knees had made like torn the fabric and
That's
I was
right.
going to fix them. So I fixed them.
Nice. Oh, the shorts now.
Yeah.
They're capris. Those aren't shorts. Those are capris.
Well,
They're not on Tim's
I have
legs.
such long
On
legs.
Tim's
They're
legs,
shorts. It's funny. I talked to a coworker of mine about that. I was like, "Oh, my inseam. I usually go for 35, sometimes 36." He's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "We're kind of the same height almost, but I'm the 34 or 33 inseam." I was like, "Dude, I'm all leg though. Like, look how much leg I've got."
I know.
He's like, "Oh yeah, you're right, actually."
His body is longer, but his legs are shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is amp timing. I went to a tailor today to drop off. I bought a pair of pants in Montreal that I could only find 34, 36. Like there was no 34, 34, which I usually buy. So I went to the tailor and got those shortened. And he's like, "Oh, you don't need it. Oh, everything else is perfect." I was like, "I know, that's why I bought the pants. I just need them to be slightly shorter." Yeah. I was taking my suit there to get tailored as well. That's why I'm not that bougie that I just go to a tailor to get pants.
Mr. Fancy Boy with fancy pants. Ooh.
Fancy pants. Sorry, fancy trousers.
How's your vision?
You know what? After the swelling was gone, I said that because I had my review on Friday with Neil, and I said to him, so he says, "Are you all done now? Is it all good?" And that
Yeah.
I said, "It's a brighter world out there. It's amazing." I said, he laughed. I said, I see so much more lightness.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Jen.
Oh, hold on. Now we're all getting our speakers out. I think it's this one. How's that? Speak now.
Hello.
There we go.
Yes.
Perfect.
Hello. How are you? Just happened to be popping by?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, we're getting the whole gang together
Great
for this one. It's
timing.
the Wonder Boys podcast, but it's literally everybody and their dogs podcast.
Yeah, everyone keeps
Well-
showing up.
I've never been on it.
Oh.
We've
Oh,
asked
your
you.
debut.
We've asked you.
Leading
You
him.
no, you haven't.
Yes, we did.
You
No,
never
we've
did.
asked you.
Well, it is called the Wonder Boys podcast.
I'm mum of boys,
Oh, I
of those
suppose.
Wonder Boys, so that should take some,
Well.
right?
Yeah.
Should make some
Well.
You
impact.
made it now. It only took 8 years? 9 years?
There you go.
Yeah, we
That's
started this
true.
in 2016. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So you were just stopping by, Mom?
I was just stopping by to drop off those things, and I got them some brownie tins to bake in.
Oh, yes. For the wedding.
Because,
Or just,
well, it wasn't
just
for
for
the
life.
wedding.
Okay.
That was just because I had a brownie tin and Tim borrowed it, and then I had to ask for it back 6 months later. So I said, "You can borrow it again," but then I saw these brownie tins, so I thought I'll just buy them for them, and then they have their own.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, if I borrow it and didn't give it back, it's because I didn't want to.
Exactly. So, and then there was the pants, because I was cleaning up and I found those pants, and I thought, oh, I still haven't fixed them, and I thought, you know what?
Tim's
I'll
probably
just cut
replaced
the
those
bits
pants
off.
by now, and you'd be right.
No, but you can use these for when you do dirty jobs around the house, or
Yeah,
like
that's true.
cleaning your car or something.
That's true, yeah.
Do they fit Sarah?
The pants?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. She likes
Well, they will
capris.
now that I've shortened the legs.
Maybe the waist,
The waist might
I'm
be
a
like
skinny
10
waist
times.
boy, yeah.
Well, in the waist, she's probably got a skinnier waist than you.
I was going to say, did you just call Sarah fat?
Oh yeah, they do have big hips.
They have larger hips than men do.
like your dad calls it, childbearing hips.
Yeah, of course he would. He's from the north of England.
Sorry to barge in on you guys.
That's okay.
It's lovely to be an uninvited guest.
Yes, truly, sometimes that's the best way to do it.
An accidental tourist.
Yeah.
Maybe for episode 100, we just do a family podcast. Is that
Well, I had thought about maybe we all just sit down and watch the movie The Wonder Boys. And just do a movie review.
Yeah, just do an honest movie review right there.
And then every episode after that, we just we just rewatch that movie and just talk about the same things.
Sarah has to go because she'll be married, but I don't have to go.
Can you hear what Jenna's saying?
No.
She's like, do significant others have to be part of this? And I said, you heard that part. And then she said, if Sarah goes, I don't want to have to.
No, Sarah's
Now, but define significant. Like, is Jenna a significant other or just an
Or
other?
just oh, Tim.
No, no. I'm his current girlfriend. So I
Yeah,
don't
she
know.
is. She is my
Alright.
current girlfriend.
Oh,
Nice.
we still keep that one going.
You know,
Okay.
you got to keep your options open.
So I guess technically significant in some capacity. So, yes, you're obligated.
There you go.
Okay, I have to go back to work.
Okay.
But my mom texted you. She wants to respond.
Everybody's mother.
Everyone's texting Tim.
Moms and mothers-in-law and significant others and
Every mother wants to get in contact with me right now. Whew, it's too much.
Popular guy. And I have his undivided attention, and it's being divided.
It's being very divided.
I know. I'll go now and won't disturb you any longer, so you can go and talk about me now.
It's okay. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Be well.
Bye, Mom.
Yes.
Has she left yet?
Yes.
Okay, so we can talk about Mom has the longest goodbyes.
I know.
I bet if somebody's listening to this and they go back, if you leave all of that in, you're just gonna look back to the first time she said goodbye, and I reckon it was about 15 minutes.
It was a while ago. Oh, I'll get out of here, but
Yeah.
yeah, that'll happen quite a bit. It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon.
Not uncommon. That's not so bad. Let's jump into that last point then. I think there's a last story, and then we'll wrap it up. But you had to fly to Calgary yesterday.
I did, and this one was mandatory. But I didn't take if you take a passenger flight, you do a WestJet or Air Canada, it's 1 hour or less to fly to Calgary from Vancouver.
Yeah, because you fly at like 600 kilometers an
Yeah,
hour.
you fly much
Fucking
faster.
fly.
To be fair,
Yeah.
But it's part of the commercial license requirements for becoming a pilot. You have to fly 300 nautical miles from your point of origin, and then land at 3 different places other than the airport you took off from. So we ended up flying. Supposed to do it last week, the 22nd of June, but there's wildfire smoke up north in Prince George, and then there was thunderstorms in Calgary. Those are my 2 options. So I was like, okay, well, let's push it a week. Pushed it, and then yesterday was kind of the first day the weather got much better. And we're like, okay, it's going to happen. It's going to work. I was trying to do it on a weekend so Dad could come with. So I brought
Cool.
Dad along because some people have done it on their own. I spoke to another student last week who said, I did it on my own. But it's like 10 hours in the airplane on your own. I was like, this is the most boring shit ever.
Got Netflix up there?
No, I mean, you got to check your maps and navigate and all that. But there are moments where you're just cruising in a straight line.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, now what? So, yeah, we take off out of Vancouver at 7 a.m. yesterday. My instructor's like, try and be wheels up at 6:30. I'm like, bro, let me sleep a little bit. I appreciate you
Don't be
trying to
like
get me
that.
back on time, but bro. So we took off at 7. We're flying out first to Vernon. So we go past Kelowna, and we land in Vernon. We fuel up there, and then we take off from there, and we're continuing on to basically Calgary. But the way you have to fly through all these mountain valleys. You can't go directly over the mountains because some of them are 10 or 11,000 feet high. And once you get above 10,000 feet, the oxygen's so thin, you could get hypoxia because the plane's not pressurized.
wow.
So you have to kind of
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
below 10,000. So that means you have to kind of weave through these valleys, which is really cool because you end up going through, past Salmon Arm, past Revelstoke, past Golden, Lake Louise, Banff. These are all huge tourist destinations that you find on postcards and stuff. And then we got to fly through, which was really cool because it was really clear visibility. It was a relatively cool day because there's still a bit of cloud cover, so we didn't get a lot of turbulence, which was nice. We got a little bit of turbulence in the mountains. And
Yeah.
all this air moving around, wind coming through the valleys and whatever. But other than that, it was pretty smooth. We land in Calgary. It's as soon as you leave the mountains in Alberta and then head towards Calgary, it just it's flat. Lucas and I have done that
Yeah.
drive together where you just you come out of the mountains and it's just whoa, okay, I guess it's flat now.
Yeah, it is just now flat. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just flat for a really long time. And then when you fly, it's just as dramatic of a transition. Even when you fly back and you're leaving that flatness into the mountains, you're like, oh shit, okay, we're in the mountains now. It's
Yeah.
not a gradual transition. It's just oh, there's the mountains.
Right.
So that was really interesting. It was really cool, and it's very warm in Calgary, very nice. And yeah,
How long did you stay there for?
we were only there for like 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
Because the flight there took us just about 5 hours or so.
Yeah.
And then the flight back, we were expecting it to be 6.5 hours because I looked at the forecast and there was supposed to be wind. We had a headwind all the way back, so it was supposed to be slowing us down quite a bit. And I thought, oh man, okay, this is going to take us like 6.5 hours. Ended up, again, being just like 5.5 hours on the way back because the wind had calmed down. And yeah, we got to land in Revelstoke, the runway there is inside the Columbia River. Not inside, like in the water, but like they've built it out into the river. So they obviously filled the land in, or maybe just it was a sandbar that they reinforced. And so you land on this runway that's surrounded by the river. So it's pretty fucking cool. And then, yeah, flying back through like Kamloops and Merritt and over Hope. And then, yeah, we landed at about 6:30 that night. So, yeah, we take off at 7, land at 6:30.
Almost a 12-hour day.
Pretty much almost 12 hours, yeah. But it was pretty cool. And then, I got my requirement for my 300-mile flight done. And, yeah, it was almost like 10 hours total flying actually in the airplane. So my legs and my back were fucking stiff at the end. Because and those little planes not really built for tall boys. Got lots of long limbs in here, and yeah, there's not a lot of space for your legs to maneuver once you're actually inside. But yeah, it was fantastic. We had a great time, and the day flew by, and pun intended. In terms of the 12 hours.
That was good. That was
of
very
travel.
good.
Yeah, thank you. I come up with all these jokes myself. Yeah, it was truly like it was really fantastic. I even knew the day before. I was like, this is like it's almost like a once in a lifetime opportunity to do something like this. Like,
yes,
I think for a lot of pilots, maybe that would get lost. Like, because I got to get my requirements. I got to get my hours. I'm just doing this all the time. I'm trying to be very conscious of how special it is to be able to do this and like experience that and yeah, and then I got to share it with Dad, which is kind of cool because I got to teach him a few things. I got to show him like, oh, this is how this works. This is what I'm doing now. This is like what blah 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 blah. So that was nice because it also kind of kept me alert, I think, the whole time. Like if you're up there on your own for 10 hours, I can imagine you get pretty sleepy. Like, oh, kind of bored.
Yeah, I bet. But until a radio message comes through and you're like, yeah,
I'm here, bro.
Yeah.
I'm awake, dude. Yeah. No, but it was really fantastic. It was really cool.
Awesome.
Very tiring. Yeah, I got home at like, we had dinner afterwards, and then I got home at like 7:30, 7:45, and like lay on the couch for like an hour and a half, just like in a half comatose state because I was so tired. I was like, maybe I should go to bed. So I went to bed and just like slept for like 10 hours. And I was like, oh, what happened? Ugh.
Where am I?
Yeah. So it was really good. I loved it. Yeah. Cool. Good time. It was a really good time.
Well, I mean, Tim, that was earlier you made a bit where you said you were talking about not parking and having the issue with Dad and him being mature and you having to mature. You just told a very mature story there, though, where you said you really wanted to appreciate it and make sure that you took advantage of this moment, which you don't know if you'll get the opportunity to again. So
yeah,
you're a walking contradiction, Mr. Mature.
That's
boy.
right. Yeah, I am. You piece of shit. Sorry.
No, he's back. I'm
back.
Yep, you're back down.
No, it's. I was thinking like because you have to take this medical exam every year as a pilot to determine if you're fit to actually fly, and like it could be a little thing that could disqualify you. And I'm like, I've been pretty lucky in terms of having good health and passing these exams. But yeah, one year, what if you get some kind of disease or disorder that disqualifies you from flying? Like I'm not gonna be sad or mad about it, like maybe losing that ability, but kind of I'm trying to make myself focus on, you can look back at these cool experiences that you've had because of this and be grateful for what has happened. And also because this last couple of months I was talking about my work experience, my anxiety around that. For some reason, I'm 31 now, but I think this was prior to my birthday, so I was 30. Maybe it was turning 30 that did it. I started to think about my own mortality and how life is a fleeting thing in the universe. And I'm like, what is happening to me? Why am I all of a sudden
fleeting thing in the uterus? Jesus.
In the universe, maybe. Sorry, just like a fleeting, like a flicker, like an instantaneous thing compared to like the life of the universe.
Yeah.
And how we have all been so lucky to kind of come into this world at this time and whatever. And then I just got really philosophical during that time and kind of weirdly aware of my own mortality and my own health and my own So it's kind of really come into this whole flying experience being like, oh my gosh, like if one of these things hadn't lined up, it wouldn't have been possible. And like, yeah, if
Yeah.
my health hadn't been there, or if I had been born, or if I had something, and I'm like, all that happening with this work anxiety and then with this flight training, and like I've had this weird few months since the last podcast that we had, and I've just been like, what is happening? What is life? Who am I? But I'm grateful for that experience, so that's where I want to end that.
I think that's a perfect place to end. Thank you so much for listening to the Wonder Boys podcast. We'll be back in 2 months with probably some more
I wish.
philosophical crap. Yeah, no, it won't, because if it's 2 months, we'll be doing one on your wedding day. So you can assume there'll be a delay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In
I
the
am
next
getting
episode.
I'm getting married. Well, we can try and resume our originally planned schedule. It's supposed to be June 1st and then August 1st. This one will probably
Okay.
come out July 1st instead. So, oh my gosh, are we going to get another Wonder Boys podcast in 1 month?
Stop. I can only get so erect.
I know, and also let's not promise anything because
No, exactly.
obviously we're not. But we'll put in here. Let's put in some effort to putting in
To August 1st.
August 1st,
Yeah.
and then maybe also we could also do a September 1st. But when I say some effort, let's warn everyone, it will just be some effort.
Yeah, like a modicum is a
Yeah, it'd
good
be
word
some
for
effort.
the amount of effort.
Yeah.
I do want to make a shout out to Katie Hikita, who I saw in person about a month
and
ago
baby
now.
Hikita.
And baby, talk about big boys. And
I
she's
saw a
not,
photo. I saw a photo.
She's Katie, your kid's massive, and I think you're aware of that. But I want to shout out Katie, who's like, you guys said you do one every 2 months, and there wasn't one, and I was like, you got us.
Man, sometimes I guess like some moms just can't get off your back. Am I right? Holy cow!
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, her name's Katie, not Karen, but we'll see what happens.
You know what?
See what happens.
May as well legally start the process, Katie. So go for it. Okay.
I'm getting texts about this for sure. I'm getting texts about this.
Yeah. Okay.
But seriously, modicum of effort to do one August 1st-ish. We'll see you all then. But thank you in the meantime for listening to Wonder Boys podcast. You can find us on the internet, probably. Yeah, we have places you can find us on the internet. If you're listening to us, it's probably because you know where to find us.
Yes.
If we accidentally popped up on your feed. Actually, you can find us on YouTube now. I've been uploading our videos to YouTube as like podcast episodes with no visuals. And you want to hear one of the great things about YouTube is it gives you aggressively granular stats. And one of the aggressively granular stats that's come out of the episodes I've uploaded is people only really listen to the first 4 to 5 minutes.
Nice. Yeah. I appreciate
so
that.
if we lost you an hour and 10 minutes ago, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, we can put this clip at the front and immediately tell those people, fuck you, okay? So they will hear it, and then they'll turn off anyways. It doesn't matter. They weren't going to listen, so fuck you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.